5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's see if we are live on good old YouTube. We are. I forgot to set up my hi hellos to Instagram and Facebook, so that'll take 1 second, please. Hold tight. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Little musical entertainment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. It's all good. It's gonna wake the peoples up. Mm-hmm. It's okay. I'll be cutting all this out probably if I remember. Oh, for farting's sake. Today's my Friday, so that's my excuse for being so lackadaisical. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright, we're flying out to YouTube and Facebook just to send a notification that I'm live streaming. Oh, I think it's Instagram's. It's Meta's Friday too or something because it's taking forever. Alright, it's been done. The people have been notified, which means I could start yammering on. Here we go. Let me just see something here. I think I can I actually see? Oh, I know what I did. All right. I'm still learning this OBS, so bear with me. All right. Okay, well, I'm just going to get to it. 11 pages, well established with some skeletal inking, which I'm going to show off. And then I'm going to give an update on how close we are to CROM Anthology number 2, based on what I need to get completed. Because once these pages are put to bed, I really don't have that much to do. In the way of art, the big thing is actually the cover, but there is a couple of illustrations I need to supply for stories that will be in CROM Anthology number 2. And just to remind everybody, CROM 2024 Collected and CROM Anthology number 1, they're available on CROMTheBarbarian.com, which you can get all your updates from. So let's get to it. I'm going to put this off to the side because I'm really excited to show off these pages. This has been written and penciled layout by Jamie Barrows, who is the project lead for Brutal Blade of CROM. Just to name one of the many. Not organized here today, books seem to be missing. So we got Brutal Blade of CROM. We also have the Blood Maidens as well. All available on CROMthebarbarian.com. So been very excited, very engaged in working with Jamie on a CROM story, and he supplied some amazing. As a matter of fact, here's the pencils. There's the pencils right here, just to give you an idea as we're going through. Very, I say graphically moving the story along. Graphic being more like shapes. That's sort of how I see Jamie's approach, and then his own fine tuning is very grabbing. So the pencils obviously are just the thoughts getting laid out, and then when he gets into his finishes, and especially when he gets into his coloring, it's quite a storytelling event. So I've always wanted to just kind of put my flair on top of his pencils and his storytelling. So have that opportunity, and am working very diligently on it. So you can just, like I said, see the 11-pager. All right, and yeah, it's good stuff here. So page 1, you got the wizard, right? And he's cast this spell and brought all these barbarians. 2 of them are females, 1, 2. This is Theodora. I just actually ordered his zine comic for Theodora, and she's in Blood Maidens #1. I believe it's Blood Maidens #1. So really exciting character. Looking to find out more about her. Got some of these really cool guys. You'll notice that I will be doing this from time to time because I'm in the fine-tuning stage right now. So this is where I need to get things sort of like brought together, hammered in, honed in. Because yesterday I just finished page 11's sort of structural laying out. But my eyes are constantly informing me of like opportunities to add more information. So you'll see me doing this throughout the little thing. And I'm going to be coming back and throwing in some pencils, regular graphite pencils and some colored pencils, and a couple of other things, some gray, paint marker, Posca paint marker. Based on what I was saying a couple of episodes back, live streaming wise, which was the reason I don't start in the left hand corner, page 1, and just ink and finish down at the bottom right hand corner is as the pages move along, I'm finding myself being informed about how to illustrate certain things. And magic, I ended up using the Posca, just a nice fine tip Posca gray marker. So I'll be like, just to show you, like, just kind of coming back here. I like this because I like the little, like, it's a little too light for me. And then there you go. And if I want, I can even just throw a little, just like circles in there, just to create a little bit more That Kirby Crackle energy thing. Especially when it really starts bleeding out over here. So I really like the texture I made from the first graphite washing and throwing all that crazy stuff around, like the spray can, black and white. And yeah, and I still have more of that to do too. So there's a lot more intuitiveness in the way I like to work. I don't like having something planned out concretely and then having to follow step 1 through 100 in order to complete. I mean, I have obviously Jamie's pencils, which are now my guides, but I can go a little off-road, and I do enjoy doing that. So no harm, no foul. Everybody has a different type of process when it gets down to it. Can anybody not hear me? Like I'm assuming I can be heard. I can see people are watching right now. But I'm still figuring out this OBS video recording that we're moving away from. Jake and I are moving away from for Turbo Pit Fighter as well, recording with Riverside, as we've been doing for 3 years. They've just outgrown us, or we have outgrown them. So it's all good. No hate. A little frustration only because we need to. I need to learn to this new way of streaming, which already is showing so many benefits, but more about that later. So that's page 1. Page 2. Now I am going to also bring out my Post-it pad, basically because one of the things I have as notes is I need to identify black, white, and gray spray can areas. So this is going to be one here where I'm going to put kind of an aura around his head, so I'll need to have to mask out, and this is going to be white, and then there's going to be a spray down lighting effect. So this is going to be white spray. So, because I have to make all of those at the same time, because I got to keep the windows open, the ventilation, and get the spray cans all ready. Use it all at once, because it can be a bit of a pain. And that's once again another reason why I work the way that I work, bringing things in as they come along. So I really, when I get the white spray down here and around this is well, I don't know, there's many favorite pages here, but this is going to be one of those pages that resonates the most with me, because it sort of just falls into its own space. I'm only the facilitator, the guy who shows up and does the work. The page has made it known that this is what's needed, and I just listen. So one of the things, though, I'm gonna have to and I like doing this kind of stuff, fine-tuning. Nothing to do with right or wrong or mistakes. It's just making things make a little bit more sense. Clarifying. Yeah, the white of his cloak is white here I have a shoulder grade, and so I need to do something where I'm probably going to do like this part in white gouache, and then I'm probably even going to do a dark shape, which, you know, has his vest that way. Matter of fact, we're going to do it right now. That's why I'm here today. I'm here today to keep pushing these pages, because I'm feeling confident that I will be done these pages by June 27th, which is 2 Saturdays. Not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, where I have invited Jamie Barrows to jump on with me, and we're going to talk CROM and Brutal Blade of CROM and Blood Maidens and we have a lot to catch up with. We have not done a live chat streaming in a while, so looking forward to catching up with him, and also kind of just bouncing back some stuff, getting clarification, because if he's like, yeah, Kurt, that's really cool, but I did have this original thought where maybe we could, you know, or like, yeah, I'll make it work. That's the other thing, that these pages can do what they want. They'll do what they want, and I'm not so precious about them as much as it is to get them, you know, to a place where they make sense. I'll do that white gouache later. All right, so this page 2 got the white spray and stuff. Like I said, this panel, other than adding the hands of this character and the border, that was all from the effects of doing the washing of the water-soluble graphite and some spraying. I used some black spray while it was wet, so it created just this such a cool thing. This page is going to need quite a lot of work. The 2 things I need to really kind of figure out is I got speed lines to do in here, which I really want to make a lot of just like action just in those lines. And I need to beef up this psychedelicness, because the whole cosmic world is kind of my contribution, I feel, to the story. I did not want it to be set in like a mystical land. I wanted to kind of have this weird liminal space, or maybe that's not the right world. Yeah, maybe a little space, you know, something cosmic. So always reaching back to like Jim Starlin and Warlock and Dreadstar, you know, where, you know, people are floating around and, you know, doing things in space, but it's not physical per se. It looks physical in a comic book, but it's definitely one of those things where it's comic book driven. So this page 3, I can already feel I need to do a lot more in the way of informing, because right now this page has a lot of like unanswered questions in it, which is fine. Like I said, this is the way I like working. It's way more easy for me to maintain my attention towards it. As a card-carrying ADD kid from the 90s, you know, keeping my attention is something that, you know, being an artist is my responsibility. So finding ways to keep that attention on it is very important. You know, like this area here, I left it open too. Like his hair, I'm all right with. Like you'll see, that's him. It's kind of a gray hair. I might use a light gray color pencil just to kind of put a texture on there. But this page is like needs a lot of solid decision making. Like this nose, I already know needs a black color pencil, which always seems to be within reach, but not within grasp. I don't know why I can't see my black color pencil, or I keep putting it somewhere I go. That's very strange. Alright, let me use this. This is my woodless color pencil. But this kind of stuff, you know, just trying to... It's fun. Like all the hard work is done. This is, I think, the most exciting, is making sense and fine-tuning the pages. And the way I work is it's very easy to kind of work on top of stuff that's already there. So I don't have to get too anxious about making mistakes. So that's page 3. Page 4. I don't even know if there is that much to do here. Was still going to play with the action line stuff that I've been doing. There's probably something I could do a little differently, but like up here, don't really know if I'm going to do anything different. Like there's no outlining I want to keep. Like it's a very wood block print, very high contrast too, black and white. So don't want to invade it with gray value, like that middle gray value. So like this works. The reduction of the page and then it being completely flattened into a black plate, I can't wait. This is the #1 page. I can't wait to see how the effect is of it. So when I get the proof, you know, right before we go to official launch of CROM Anthology 2, this is going to be one of those first pages I turn to see if it works or how it's working. It'll work. I just want to know how it works. And so this is going to be very, 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 very exciting. So page 4, page 5. Gonna have to bring something else in here. I was thinking some gray spray paint. Still could use some more black lines. But for me, like glowing eyes maybe, colorizing gray. There's still some stuff I could do. I was thinking of even like putting some black line just to get that in there. This dragon came out really nice. It might be a little too light, so it might cause me to have to go a bit darker. Don't know. But page 5 needs a little more attention and experimentation with it. So we'll see what happens. Page 6, splash page. Look at that. Pretty wild. One thing I've been working on this foot. Just trying to figure out some ways to. Yeah, that's fine by me. In fact. So really excited. This is where those that gray Posca came in and really did, like, you know, look at that action, if you will. And I think there can be more brought in. Like I started kind of just doing some light areas, so there might be more that I kind of fill in. As a matter of fact, I most definitely will. But everything else is just really hold tight. You might bring in a little high-tech C noodling in here. But man, look at that. So much fun. So much fun. It's on page 6. It's splash page, I guess. This is going to be kind of fun in a mysterious way. I have been playing around with the gray values for the black. As a matter of fact, this is like a 95% gray for the black tombos. Like here's the black tombo, which is 15. Yeah, 15. That says 25 on it. And then 75 is a lighter gray. And then I have 65. I think I'm going to be taking this 65 and filling in all around here these lighter areas. Because the layover could be really, really cool. Probably just going to start on the outside edges. As a matter of fact, since we're here and we're talking about it, let me just see something. I just want to see something real quick. Yeah. This is 65, right? Yep. 65. So it makes it a little, but it still holds that. Yeah. Oh, gosh, this is going to be fun. So you can still see all that speckling underneath it. What a great value and texture at the same time. All right, don't want to work too close to that line because I'll end up working on page 8 at the same time. But it'll definitely give more focus to him sending them back away. This Barbarian character, I think it's Talon. Wait a second, I got the notes here somewhere. Hold on. Don't I? I do. Here's the Tano, Master of Dragons. Tona, Tonah, T-O-N-A-H. Jamie will give us a better idea of how to say that on the 27th of June, 2 Saturdays. Less than 2 weeks away. So, but then playing, this like, I wet the page. I soaked the page again, and then I attacked it with some watered down India ink with a really busted up, as a matter of fact, 2 busted up brushes. There's a busted up Sumi brush, and then this just cheapo. I mean, it's all caked and everything, which is great because then it gives just these nice, dry. It wasn't even dry and everything. So the so I just need to get these guys focused. His head, this guy. So this page is going to be really, really easy. Just a lot of maintenance to help make sense of it. Good times. Now, one of the things I want to say is that I have not been live streaming as I was working on these pages. I jumped off about 2 weeks ago because I really wasn't adding anything by talking. There was no talking. So I'm going to be doing, have all these pages that I've worked on recorded, and I'll be doing like speed inking, sped up, time-lapsed videos that'll run probably around like 15 minutes long with some music and a little bit of like commentary at the beginning and maybe end of stuff like that. So those will be coming out as it moves along. But I just had to just sit and work on these pages and not try to figure out what clever things I can say to keep people engaged. Page 8, once again, this dragon, really, really, really dig it. We've got 5 of the characters. Tonah, Dragon Master, kind of here in the center, and it's like bull guys, CROM, 2 female Barbarian gladiators. Of course, the wizard's kind of pissed off now that this Tonah showed up with his dragon. He's kind of like messing up the fight and everything. So something is exchanged here, and just like a showdown type of thing. He's conjured these 2 hulky guys, right? So it's a fun time. Not really good there. And then page 8, page 9, slam down. So the 2 females. This is like some stuff I'm going to have to kind of gingerly work out with make it darker. I think there's a lot more darker shapes that are needed in here. But, you know, he's like, "Fuck you, wizard!" These guys jump. The other two, the bull and the, you know, jumps the one hulky henchman, and then CROM and this bull-like guy grab down, throw down on the other guy, and then the Dragon Master has gone back, and then he's, you know, spit fire on the wizard. So, and Jamie's going to be taking these pages once I'm done, and he'll be adding in all the text. So that's going to be fun. So it'll be a whole nother layer. So you know, seeing these pages completed at that point is going to be another really cool thing to see. So, of course, the Dragon Lee's got the sword and everything. And then this page, I don't know how much justice I'm giving to it, but when it came through, I mean, when I saw immediately, because I grew up with the WWF. I live in the Philadelphia area. So we used to go to the Spectrum and see all the, not all of them, but I mean, pretty much during summertime. We would be there at least 2 times a summer during the 80s and everything. But this I just thought was just right off the back of the Dragon. You know, there's like this frozen. I was like, man, this is going to be a wild page. You know, he's been burned, you know, by the fire-breathing dragon, and then he just bloomed. He's like this, just like gelatinous, bleh, you know. You know, so I really want to play this up a bit. I started playing with a little bit of high-tech C to kind of drive. I don't know if that really is the way to do it. This almost works. Almost, like, because it doesn't interfere with the 2 skeletal hands. And then Tona, you know, it's I still got to let these things, like, and that's another part of me, is letting these things cool off. You know, walking away from them for a couple days, maybe a week, and then come back and be like, oh no, that's what needs to happen. I could have had things in my mind, but it's definitely it's a kind of a fun thing to do, working wise. So, and then that's page 10, page 11. These guys, you know, Tona has, you know, the Kirby Crackle energy. Kirby Crackle energy is definitely, you know, going to transport them all back home safely. The bleeding on the Tombow Black water base is really a great effect. I let that kind of just stay that way. Gray Posca pen. Don't know. I mean, maybe a little kind of gray color pencil and some white. You know, it's on the beak here. The eyes need to get a little bit, but this is a pretty decent heavy duty page here. This work. I spent a good amount of time yesterday working on it. I'm really happy with how it's come along and everything. So that is the update for the 11-pager, Barbarians of the Pit, written and penciled by Jamie Barrows. So here's the big thing. 256. It ended up being 270 something pages in all the submissions that have come to me. There are some stories that are still sort of out there in finishing land, which, you know, this is a low to no stress project, which means there's no reason for anybody to stress over getting their work done for CROM Anthology 2, because I'm splitting this into 2 volumes. CROM Anthology 2 and CROM Anthology 3. 3 will have a different cover. That'll be the one that's the water cover. So this is the air cover, earth cover, and fire cover. So I still have to come up with a watercolor cover, which is water element cover, which is, I'll tell you right now, I have very little to no idea how I'm going to do it. but going from there. So to get me over the finish line and what I need to get done art-wise, number one is the cover. So I have it already printed out by my good friend Matt Stawicki, Dragonlance famed fantasy artist, lives down the street from me, which has been a great joy. So that's already printed out, 17 by 22. That'll be the last thing I work on. I do have some pages here that I need to illustrate. So I need to illustrate. This is Ollie's CROM Caught in the Weird. He's going to have, it's a 5-pager, 6-pager. So I'm going to give it a similar treatment where he's probably going to get about 6 illustrations for his story, which is well deserving because it's an amazing story and it's going to be serialized. The second one I need to get illustrations for is Ian Stone's Cult of Ape. Now this is set. I had done this doodle of. Don't know if I'm going to stick with it, and I don't even know. It's a short story, but I don't know if I want to really compact it into 2 pages. Might 3, so I might actually use part of the set to do, an illustration for that. And then Ape is another, godlike kind of creature character that'll be kind of fun to do. So 2 illustrations there. Working on finishing the 11-pager. Just reviewed that. This is all done. This is Jasper Cuther. So I have received those pages. This is inked, so don't have to worry about that getting inked. This is going to be really put off. So this won't even be for CROM Anthology 3. I do not believe it's going to be in CROM Anthology 3. There might be a part, like I might do chapter 1. Don't know yet, because 3 is so far away at this point. Then, that was 6. Yeah, 6, 7. Going to hold off for CROM 3. So I have 2 stories I need to do, which is CROM Daring Part 2 and the CROM Junior will be the next 2 comics I do for CROM Anthology, the inking stuff. And this is going to be in color. I'm even thinking of playing kind of a monochromatic thing with CROM Daring. Don't know. I've been kind of bouncing that back and forth in my head. So we'll see. We'll see when I get to that. Like I said, that's a road down the ways. These pages are on their way. This is Rick Frayne and Alyssa's Seer. We've been playing with names. Rick has been heartily working along. I had a photo shoot with Alyssa, mapping it just much like the Spawn of Afgorkin. So photogenic comic. No, I believe Zach has already gotten that in. No worries there. This is a really fun rework CROM Barbarian I've already done. Matter of fact, just within reach. So a Bludgeon's Blood Spider short story already illustrated. Can't wait to see this in black and white. So that is that. And then, nope, I already have that. So that is not what yeah, that is it. Like, I'm very excited to get into what, the final stretch, let's say the home stretch, right? And get this baby to bed. Get this baby out there in the wild. So, tentatively speaking, we're at the middle, not even. Yeah, we are. We're at the middle of June. I do have a vacation for 2 weeks in July. And I'm thinking August is when the rumbling is going to be really heard, if not felt, in the way of releasing CROM Anthology 2 at about 100 140 pages. So just so everybody gets a good idea, this is 140 pages. 140 pages of sword, black and white sword and sorcery goodness in magazine format. So you can see it's a very nice and economically feasible. So one of the things in all of my anxiousness of adding the responses I had from the Brutal Blade of CROM crew for the expanded gallery was really kind of threw us over. And I wanted to give everybody this is like a catalog, if you want, for finding your CROM artist. So I'm still so excited that I have everybody in here. But it did throw this up to 256 pages, which also pushed the cost of it up. And I think it's definitely something that's a bit out of reach at $35. But it was necessary. And as CROM number 1 will always be there in the store at cromthebarbarian.com. And by the way, both of these are available on Amazon. So you can actually get through CROM the Barbarian to the Amazon link, which is up in the menu. It's the first thing that you can, and it'll take you to those if you want. If you're an Amazon Prime member, it's a great deal because you have the ability to get these free shipping anywhere in the world. So really, 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 really excited to kind of bring it back down to 140 pages. And then once CROM 2 is out in the wild, I will be immediately going into CROM 3. So we'll see what that all entails. But other than that, I really can't say any more than everything is good. We're working very diligently on getting things completed. I'll be making more formal announcements on CROM Anthology number 2 on cromthebarbarian.com. If you're not a part of the newsletter, please consider getting over there, joining at the bottom, the newsletter. But for all those who are involved, thank you for your patience. I know you understand. This is a low to no stress project, which also considers me as well. So with that being said, we are definitely making things happen. And most importantly, I have learned a lot in how I will be approaching CROM Anthology number 4. One of the things I'll be relieving myself of is the cover duties. Still haven't figured out how I want to format that or how I would move into that space with somebody doing the cover, but that'll all come in time. I know once I get closer to that, that'll be really fun and everything. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned is I need to have my stuff done first, and then I need to call out for contributors. I think maybe I was a little too anxious, as everybody can tell when it comes to I get very excited. But even inside that excitement, I am a bit like weary that, maybe nobody would respond or, that happened. But, the responses have been great. And I can't thank people enough for being as contributing to CROM as they have with the CROM Anthology. So it just seems like this is just going to be a fantastic project that I want to assure people that is always going to be juggernauting through and figuring out its way in the world, not only by my own sense, but also in the sense of others and getting people printed, which is primarily my goal, is building a community and help others see their work in print through the public domain character of CROM the Barbarian, who was created by Gardner Francis Fox and John Guinta back in 1950. But other than that, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. And you'll be seeing and hearing from me very, very soon again. And if you ever have questions, you know where to get me, through cromthebarbarian.com or Instagram, I think, is also another easy way to get a hold of it. So thanks again to everybody for joining me, and I look forward to sharing more in the process of and the progress of getting the CROM Anthology 2. Take care. Bye-bye.